mean, I'm pretty sure you enjoy all your production and all the artists you work with, but
well, not all of it. No, I'm just kidding.
But what were some of the? I mean,
we all make mistakes, okay? No, I'm just kidding.
What were the three that you would say, man, like I remember vividly and having so much fun with it?
For different reasons, but like I'd say Crybaby with Snoop Dogg and Mariah was crazy, and that was because we went out to Snoop's house to record the vocals, and we couldn't get the microphone to work.
Oh, okay.
So it was me, Snoop, Battle Cat, Corrupt, everybody with flashlights up under the board.
Yeah.
You know, we only had one day to turn in the record, so it was like we had to get his verse and then get it back to the studio in LA, like because he was way out in the boonies, and we had to get this thing recorded, then get it mixed and mastered and sent, you know, back to Sony by the next morning or something. Wow. So like we're all under there, me and Battle Cat, that's how we met. So we're like sitting up under the board like with flashlights trying to chase the cord all the way back from the booth, and there's dogs barking and kids running around and you know all of this kind of stuff. I mean, stuff like that is fun, you know. Lights Out with West Side Connection, you know. Word Up by Korn, you know. All those. I just started working with Terry Reid and Eric Burden, two rock icons and legends.
Wow.
You know, Eric Burden sang "Spill the Wine" by War, you know what I mean, or with War, you know what I mean, like, and wrote that song. So to have the opportunity to really sit down with some of these OGs and be like, yo, teach me some of your game, you know what I mean? Like, Jack White said something interesting recently where he goes, I like to get them in a position where they show me their tricks. You know what I mean? Like, you know, trick them into showing us their tricks. Right. You know what I mean? And that's where I'm at. You know, like just learning. So I mean, projects like that, you know, the Eric Burden thing, the Terry Reid, and Terry Reid is a really good friend of mine and an amazing dude. And I just did a deal with Nigel Grains and Phil Harrington and Bob Geldof from the Live 8 and Live 8 stuff. Also doing some stuff with the United Nations and things like that. Shout out to Nas. Nas is getting a track from the Wailers today, which is really, really cool. So, you know, stuff like that. So.
That's real dope. So those are some of the stuff you're involved with right now.
Yeah, it's some of the best stuff of my career. You know what I mean? Like, I'm having fun again.
Yeah, you're getting, I mean, do you see yourself like, I mean, you got years.
I'm getting back into radio.
You definitely getting back
to
radio.
I'm definitely getting back into radio.
We'll definitely talk a little bit more about that.
We're not going to talk about it now. I'm going to tell you, I'm getting back into radio.
He's getting back into radio. It's going to be huge.
Around January.
December, right?
Yeah, well, January 1st.
January, December. Do you feel that are you approaching your peak? Are you approaching your peak as a, I'm not going to say as a producer, just as being in the industry?
I don't look at it like that because, you know, you can't have peaks without valleys, and you can't have life without hustle and struggle and happiness and good times and bad times. I mean, you know, we were talking about that before we started, you know, about some of the good times and the bad times. Right. You know, I mean, I definitely think it's a peak, you know, in a lot of stuff happening at the same time. But I really think that I've just begun. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, starting at 12 years old, you know, I haven't done my best work yet. I mean, I'm still, like I said, learning, you know what I mean? Like, you know, and venturing off into different things. I think you know, this is the first time, like, I'm lecturing at colleges now, you know what I mean? Like, and hip-hop has gone mainstream. When I started in hip-hop, they told us that it wasn't a viable format, that hip-hop was gonna die. You know what I mean? Like, it's not gonna last. Hip-hop's dead. You know, when I first started trying to get Dr. Dre and Snoop back together, they said Snoop and Dre is over. You know what I mean? Like, I wish I had $1 for every time someone told me that this music isn't gonna work, or this music is over, or that artist is over. You know, when we were talking about Mariah and the glitter thing and stuff like that, it's like, how many people counted that woman out?
A lot of people did. Yeah, did. No, so when Glitter came out, I mean, it was, in a sense, it
came out September 11th.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
and the media destroyed. I mean, during the whole period.
Yeah.
You were a big part of the Eminem project when he already came out.
Yeah. Reading about it in the book. October 10. Yeah, that's it. Dude, I was just a really lucky fan to be. I'll admit it. I was a stan. You know, just being around. You know, around the music. No, I was a fan. I am a fan of the music first and foremost. So I just got really lucky to be able to differentiate the fan stuff and also being a business person and finding a way to make those things work. I mean, it all came down to a conversation with Dre and I at his studio, and Dre said, how do I break the white boy? And I said, I'll tell you what, and this is how I put it together.
Right.
I said, I'll tell you what, you tell me the story of NWA from beginning to end, don't skip nothing. Tell me about Jerry Heller, tell me about what the room was like when Ice Cube wrote Poison the Hood for Eazy-E, you know, all of that stuff.
Right.
Like, I want to hear all that stuff, and I'll break the white boy for you.
Nice.
Oh, man. And your lighting's not right!
No, I'm noticing. I noticed it.
But I got shading going on. No, but no, go ahead. But that's, I just got lucky, man, and finding ways for it to work, and being able to be that person with a little bit of power to where I could use that leverage to learn. You know what I mean? Like Dre, you know, like, yo, man, what does that compressor do? You know what I mean? Like, all right, Damizza, let me show you what. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so the story about the whole NWA, is this gonna be in your book?
parts of it are.
Parts of it are.
Parts of it are. I mean, but that's Dre's story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't want to, you know, I've been so lucky and so blessed, and I have so much respect for the people that have taught me the things that they did. I don't want to take anything that's not mine, and I don't want to, you know, it was a real bummer. For instance, when I first let the press out that I was writing a book, I got a cease and desist letter from Mariah Carey that said, like, yo,
it's not a tell-all.
but it's not a tell-all.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? It's
Right.
like, but that's what I mean about people's fragile egos and stuff like that.
Right.
Like, if you know where all the bodies are buried, then they're immediately going to think that you're going to squeal on it.
Right, exactly.
I'm not a snitch. I'm not going to do all of that.
Yeah.
I want to tell you about what the room was like.
Yeah.
You know, when Dre walked up and said, how I break the white.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, they were recording How My Name Is that night.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What the room was like. You know what I mean? How Eminem was doing Dre's part. You know what I mean? When I walked in the room. It's stuff like that. It's not, yo, she had a mental breakdown. No, that's that media stuff again. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
the media blows out of proportion, basically.
well, I mean, look at it like this. All of the Mariah fan sites took everything about Korn, Al Gore, any of that kind of stuff, and said that it's a tell-all on one person. Then all the rap sites took all of the stuff out about Mariah and any of that stuff and said it's a tell-all on Dr. Dre. You know what I mean? So it's like everybody manipulates the press to get what they want. You know what I mean? And it's like, I'm not with that. I wrote a book from the standpoint of a hip-hop fan that got really fucking lucky. You know what I mean? Like,
and what's guilty by association?
yeah.
Okay, and we know you got some things coming up on radio. You're getting back to radio.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
No.
You already said no 3 times.
No, I'm gonna get back into radio, but I'm gonna do something crazy. I mean, everybody knows, look, I dabble in production, I dabble in a lot of things, but there's one thing that I know inside and out, and that's radio. I mean, I've never not had a #1 station. I mean, we all know what happened with Power. It was #1 the entire time I was there and dropped to number 12 as soon as I left. I mean, 6 months after I left. So, I mean, it's like, it's what I know. It's like breathing to me. So it's only right if I'm going to come out of retirement. And I always said I came home and I retired because my family was falling apart. You know, my little brother was going through a situation where my dad and my stepmom were going through a divorce, and you know, my grandma was getting older, and things just weren't right at home. So I said, look, I can always come back. So I'm going to take a break. I've been working since I was 12. I need a break. Too much was happening. I mean, I was working for Power 106. I was spending 2 weeks out of the month at Hot 97 in New York. I was on the road with Mariah. I was on the road with the 2001 tour. I mean, it was like so much going on that I didn't even have a chance to like live my life. So I was like, look, I've got all this equity in the bank of just things that I've done. Let's let that settle for a minute and let me just go be with my family for a minute. Because I've been neglecting my family. And that's not cool, especially when you